Alright, so I'd like to thank everyone who decided to stop in and listen to this video. Um, I'm really here to talk about the new year, the resolutions, what you can do to push yourself forward regardless of your situation. And I really wanted to make this video to key on one thing, that I'm just like anybody else watching this. You might even be in a better standpoint than I am. Okay? I want to do this at the perspective of as an average person that is no further along than anybody else out there, anybody else listening to this. Okay? I've had a few goals. I've graduated high school. I'm studying college. That achievement in its own, right? But I'm still working. I've got big dreams. I've got big goals. I'm still working on trying to reach those, okay? So, I'm basically saying I want to be real. I don't want to be one of those people that decide they want to give back when they're way up here after all their goals have reached, okay? Like, of course, you can listen to them, and of course, their advice is going to be great because they're going to tell you how they got to where they are, what they did to get to where they are, and give you suggestions and advices on how you can kind of do what they did to become successful, okay? But the thing with that is that it's hard to listen to those people because there's this gap. So this gap between the people that are working towards the goals and the ones that have reached their highest potential, everything that they've worked towards, there's that gap where people subconsciously think that they can't get here, that for some reason these guys were lucky. Their goals that they set, they have the advantages that other people don't, okay? So it's really hard for some people to listen to those guys, girls, whoever, that are up at the top, just because how can you relate to that? Unless you've seen them start from the bottom and go to the top, watch them as it happens and how they grow. How are you going to know that that's exactly how they did their things? How these perspectives and these mindsets that they had is what made them successful. How are we supposed to know that everything that they said is true if there's no backstory, there's no progress, there's nothing that you can watch? See, I'd like to give you guys a very good inspiration, somebody that I look up to, Gary Vaynerchuk. He's one of the few people that really started from the bottom, and you could watch the whole progress. You can go on his YouTube and you can watch the years where nobody knew this guy. This guy sat here, busted ass, and nobody could have gave a shit. Nobody gives a fuck, okay? Now he's at the point being the number one for social media influencer, and he's basically a guru, giving out advice like crazy. He's a guy that you can look towards, that's up there, and you can rely on his advice because he took those steps, and you can watch those steps, okay? So basically what I'm doing is I'm not trying to be like this guy, okay? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you advice from a standpoint that somebody who has not reached the goals, had micro goals that have been reached, but nothing extravagant, okay? Like, I make minimum wage. I go to school, college. I'm finishing my second year. I've tested drop shipping, forex trading. I've done buying and selling. I've played poker, gambling. I've tried a lot of things, okay? I'm right now trying to figure out where I want to be. And just kind of being there and be able to talk to people from that standpoint, I'm just hoping that I could impact people, not to give up, okay? Because you don't see it until it's there. It's the people up here that once they get there, that's when the fireworks come off. And they want to let everybody know. That's the time to give back, is when you've reached that success. But then there's that gap, okay? So I don't want to relay advice that is coming from those guys. I don't want to say any of my advice is going to make you successful, okay? I've basically worked and worked and worked and worked, and I'm praying that eventually these goals that I've set are going to be reached. I'm not going to give up until I get there, okay? I'm basically, the advice I came on here to give to people is to don't pay attention to that fucking gap, okay? There's those people out there with the fireworks going off wanting to give back because they've reached the success, okay? It's awesome that they're doing that, but I want you guys to find people that can show you their progress the whole way. The ones that start at the bottom with their work ethic and how they do what they did to get to where they are, okay? That's basically it. And we're coming into 2020. Right now it's the 30th as I'm recording, December 30th, 2019. And 2 days it's going to be beginning the next decade, basically. Okay? So this is the best time. Notorious. Maybe not the best. Any time is the best. But this is a notorious time where everybody's jumping on this bandwagon, okay? This is the opportunity that you can set goals and not be different from everybody else. Doesn't matter how high those goals are. If it's losing weight, if it's quitting smoking, drugs, deciding to go out there and spend more time with your family, your friends, work harder, whatever those goals are, okay? This is the time to set those goals. And what I want you guys to do, and I don't want to come across as telling you what to do. I want to come across as giving you a suggestion, okay? Create micro goals. A year is not long, but it's also long at the same time, okay? To think about having goals that you want to get completed within that year is great, but also having goals that you want to complete within a month is great too. So if you want to lose 5 pounds, I work in the gym. I have worked as a personal trainer, and I've been in the industry for about 3 years now. There's this cycle where everybody decides to come in January, okay? It's been notorious. Ask anybody that's worked at a gym. They can tell. Any personal trainer online, I guarantee that their revenue streams are going up about this time, if not now, within the next week, okay? And the problem is that so many people come in because they set this goal of losing weight, getting fit, getting healthy, and the problem is they don't set a time frame. They just want it to happen, okay? So you want 5 pounds gone? You can't expect that to happen in a week. 5 pounds, like, set it as maybe a pound a week, like 2 pounds a week, okay? And then maintaining that, because once you get there, you have to do something to keep yourself there, right? So setting the goals within the micros and then the macros is very beneficial. Not just going out saying, okay, I'm going to the gym to lose weight, right? How the fuck are you going to know you've reached that goal? You say, okay, I'm going to quit smoking. Well, does that mean you're going to drop it cold turkey as soon as New Year starts? Or are you going to set up a plan so you don't have to go through the withdrawals, go through the hell, the stuff that's going to be hard on your mental, and you're not going to want to do it? A lot of people are going to fail because they don't prepare themselves for it. It's notorious, New Year's, to be the time that people set the goals, right? And nobody prepares. They expect it to just happen, like this magic wand comes here, and all of a sudden, you've got this spell, and for some reason, that urge for quitting smoking is just gonna disappear because it's a new day, right? It's a new year, but it's no different from yesterday, okay? It's still a day. There's not gonna be any magical spoof where this witch or this fairy's gonna drop some sparkling dust to make everything okay, right? So setting the goals, if you want to quit smoking, just again a suggestion, just focus on quitting smoking as your 6-month goal, okay? So by the time halfway through summer starts, the end of summer, I want to be done smoking. Set it up for 3 months, that year, okay? Set up cutting back maybe 1 cigarette a day. A time frame, you're at work on a break, you smoke 2, cut that back to 1, okay? And then decide you only want to smoke on 1 of your 2 breaks, right? So looking at that, writing it down, and making it solid and setting it in stone subconsciously, because when you can see it on paper and you have it somewhere where you can always see it, it's going to be a lot easier because it's not going to slip your mind, okay? So, yeah, looking at making realistic goals, like, and not just expecting things are going to happen, okay? Like, if you could, that New Year's Day, decide you're going to cut back from your pack a day and cold turkey it, go through the hell of the withdrawals for the few days, then I'm extremely impressed, right? Like, but unfortunately, that's a slim majority of people out there. And a lot of people, like going to the gym, they're going to give up too soon. It's not because they can't. It's because it's an unrealistic goal, okay? Like, unrealistic might not be the word for it. It can happen, but there's just so much weight, so much dependence on it that you're going to struggle to get there, okay? Take it in increments. Like, I'm 22, okay? I started smoking when I was 15 years old. I can officially say after last month, I've been smoke free. And it feels amazing. But the thing is, it took me 3 months of quitting to actually quit, okay? So, like what I said, I cut it down in increments. I can say it's the easy way out, because in a way it is, but when you work towards creating that easy way out through a prolonged work and having patience and knowing that that goal has been set within a wider time frame, it's going to ease your mind. You're not going to have that weight. You're not going to kick yourself, beat the fuck out of yourself if you can't achieve that goal, right? Because they're micro goals within a macro one, right? So coming into 2020, basically what I'm trying to say is set those New Year's resolutions and look at the macros and the micro goals. Write it down. You'll hear this from other people too, but basically I want to be here and say I'm nothing special, okay? I'm average, and I want to help. I want to be somebody that you can look to, not for advice, but for somebody that's also going on the same journey. Like I said, quitting smoking, that was a month ago, okay? I mean, it's fucking small. I've got other goals. That was a goal to get me towards another goal. And I don't know, guys. It's like, don't don't give up on yourself either. Setting those goals, making sure that you don't put too much pressure on yourself, and then setting that prolonged time, as well as not giving up on yourself and believing that you can do it, are the keys to bringing towards those. And again, I'm still working towards things, right? I haven't got to where I want to be, but I believe in here that it's coming, okay? And I've seen little tiny successes that tell me I'm going in the right direction. And as you take those steps, you set those goals, don't expect everything to happen overnight. New Year's, the 31st, and then the 1st, that's overnight. So notoriously, everybody's out there setting these fucking goals that are supposed to happen overnight, okay? How the fuck does that make sense? How are you gonna spend more time with your family, go to the gym, quit smoking, eat healthier, and then still have to go to work, still have to take care of your responsibilities, okay? You've got things going on out there too, right? Don't put so much pressure on yourself to have to figure it out and make those goals achieved in one day. Setting these New Year's resolutions, they're so broad. To say that it's a new year and you want this complete change, you're screwing yourself over. Because unless you, for some reason, have this superhuman desire, or something very significant has happened, that night, within the last few days, something that inspires that change so severe, then it's gonna be fucking hard, okay? And you don't have to be so hard on yourself with that. Setting a goal, say New Year's resolution, I want to lose 5 pounds by June. 2020 is the year that I'm finally gonna focus on my fitness. And I want to lose 5 pounds by June. I want to be able to learn how to maintain the weight that I want for the rest of my life, okay? And I have 6 months to do it. You don't have to go to the gym on the 2nd and then feel disappointed because in that week of busting your ass, you don't see the results, okay? Nobody's gonna see the fucking results, okay? And it's like anything, right? I'm using the gym a lot because I see it. I can't say I've experienced it in a way. I've never set it as a New Year's resolution, but I've put the pressure on myself, and it fucking sucks when you let yourself down. So I'm here to be an average guy, not necessarily to give advice, but to give you guys a suggestion. I mean, if you don't give a fuck and you decide not to listen to me, that's perfectly fine, okay? But I want to change things up, so you don't have to look at everybody that you're taking this advice from as extremely successful people, okay? Because they worked fucking hard to get to where they are. I've had experience too with people with these micro goals, okay? So any type of goal, once you reach it, if you're not explaining it throughout the way, you're gonna find that gap. And it doesn't matter if you're a musician and you're taking the advice from the best rappers in the world, or if you're a writer and you're looking at J.K. Rowling for somebody as an inspiration. With them, they're stepping it back 10, 15 years, okay? look towards people that are taking these steps, that are maybe not 25 to 30 to 10 years ahead, 30 steps ahead, however the fuck you want to look at it. Look at the people that are 2, 3, maybe 4 steps ahead of you, maybe just a step ahead of you, somebody that you can watch and not do what they do, but learn from what they've done in such a micro frame that you can achieve these goals within that year. You can achieve these goals within those few months, okay? Like, I'm not saying that that's going to make you successful and reach your big 5-year goal in a few months. Like, it's not going to make a difference. But just for peace of mind and a way to inspire yourself and know that these goals are attainable, don't compare yourself to the greatest people. Look to them for some advice, but follow the people that show you their progress. Okay? I mean, like I said, I'm average. I wanted to come on here and be somebody that has no significance. And just try and be real. I'd love to help people, and that's my end goals, but for now, I'm just an average guy with average advice that can hopefully help somebody out there out. I'd like to thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys have a happy new year.